NCRP Productions presents Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands, Episode 52. Welcome back to Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands. This is Barry, your Game Master. Let me go ahead and have everyone introduce themselves, and we'll get started.
Hi, I'm Jill, and I'm playing Raya the Mourner.
Hi, this is Matt, and I'm playing Ayden Samir Carter.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm playing Dr. Everett Wolf, the doctor specializing in chemistry and alchemy, and also alleged evolved super being.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm running Frankie, the Undertaker.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro. I'm running Dr. Desmond Wright, new friend of the super being. Besties, if you will.
So, before I go over last episode, we do want to give a shout out to Ty. Mm-hmm. Ty, as you know, for longtime listeners, is no longer with us. He's passed. He's moved on.
Barry, Jesus.
It is unhallowed, so I was a little worried the way I'm not taking.
Your next line was going to be, he has moved on, which is good.
Even worse.
Oh my God.
Greener pastures. Ty is changing his work in life and has now moved on to a new job that's requiring him schooling. So he will potentially be back at some time in the future, but for the remainder of Unhallowed Season 2, it doesn't look like we're going to see him. So a quick ah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. Okay.
But go Ty.
Go Ty.
Go Ty.
We were hoping great things for him.
Yeah.
So last episode, we had a lot of fighting with a crocodile.
A lot of ill-advised fighting with a crocodile.
Yes. Some interesting things that came out of the episode that weren't crocodile related. Billings is a mercurial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Called it.
Yep. And one of the big things that he remembers as Dr. Wright was pushing him for memories was he remembers Mei Ling bringing him out of something like possibly a bath. He couldn't remember more than that, and Dr. Wright did not continue pushing. Side note that came up in the episode that I thought was rather funny is a question that we've never really asked, which is, do non-humans get Thrope'd infected? Not something that got answered, but something to consider for it.
Non-human.
Non-humans.
Like an animal.
No,
like a crocodile.
Oh, you mean like them?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, again, we
don't know.
It was brought up.
That's like the whole point, Pedro.
Are you sure?
It was right. That's the question. Are you sure?
As a doctor, I'm going to call it and say, don't. Fact check me if you will. If you want, you can go ahead and buy this wonderful game and go and see if you can fact check me.
Right, yeah. Unhallowed Metropolis
as the Thrope expert, things to consider.
Yeah, I totally think that should happen. That you could have like the crazy ass Dr. Island of Moreau.
Well, yeah.
That's so
he just
scary.
ruined one of my games.
I'm taking my answer back. Yes, Island of Dr. Moreau, please.
Dr. Wright.
Yes.
Island of Dr. Wright.
2 out of 2
Dr.
doctors.
Wright.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Look, if they specifically say in the book, and they do, that hide doesn't have to turn you like more thropish, that you can start having weird animal features and stuff with the, depending on how they mess with the hide. Yeah, I think there's some precedent for some unnatural experimentation.
And again, as I was starting to say, Unhallowed Metropolis is produced by Strix Publishing and is still available for sale in many places. So you can look it up as well. It's a wonderful game, as you've gotten to hear in so many episodes. When we left the group, the battle with the croc had gone like this. In short, Ray had gotten a major chunk of his left side bitten out. Frankie tore into the beast. The two of them tumbled down the hill into the water. Frankie got inside of it, a la the Tauntaun, tore its insides out, came up, and is now coming towards you guys. Has come to the edge of the water, and we have Raya standing there, both weapons drawn. We have Dr. Wolf loaded with a triple trank in his gun and aimed, so remember that if that ends up happening. We have Ray with a double trank in his hand ready to go. We have Dr. Wright standing there ready to speak, and Frankie takes one step. Dr. Wright, we left last time with you saying, if Frankie takes 2 steps in, I'm going to say something. So let's begin right there.
Okay, so he's taken one step.
He's taken one step.
Okay, so basically at that point, I, spread my legs to about shoulder width, bend down just slightly, get ready. I'm gonna go ahead and give I'm waiting for that second step.
Oh, well, unless there's any reason you're going to stop me, Frankie takes the second step.
With
So,
relish.
as soon as Frankie takes the second step, I shout out, Frankie, Canis Pugnosis! Frankie, sit! And I point down to the ground.
Sit?
Yes.
All right.
Frankie's not a dog.
I'm gonna kill you extra.
So, Frankie, go ahead and give me a willpower roll.
I got a 12.
I'll shove Dr. Wright's
Okay.
head in the dark.
So,
Back of the Volkswagen.
what I need to know then is reactivity. Everybody has an action on Frankie. Dr. Wolf, do you have an action that you will take if Frankie does blank?
I'm going to continue to hold the shot until if Frankie's like, it's going to be one of those like close shot moments, but I need to make sure I make this hit stick. So
you're waiting for a distance? Frankie closes within X amount of distance?
yes.
Okay. Raya, you have your weapons drawn. If Frankie does what, will you do what?
If Frankie approaches within melee range
Of you?
of me, I will attack. I'm not going to kill Frankie unless I absolutely have to. I
Fair.
will injure Frankie, especially to keep him from hurting anybody else in the group.
Okay. Ayden, you are far up the hill with quite a number of the different people with the ability to see what's going on, but really not much of an ability to get involved. I don't know if you want to move any closer to this.
No.
No, I didn't think so. All right.
That's my
I
don't.
mean-
Blame you.
Dr. Wright,
Yeah.
reactively, you've told Frankie to do something. What is the next action? If Frankie does what, you'll do what?
I added wrong. I got a 14.
Okay.
If Frankie doesn't listen to me,
Doesn't
takes
sit.
another step,
Yeah.
I'm going to basically give the whole command again.
Okay.
And then if he keeps coming and doesn't look like it's working, I'm holding my actions. One is to, I have enough to shoot and dodge, basically.
Okay.
So,
Frankie, when you come out of the water, when you start walking in, you see kind of smoky shapes in front of you. They all look like something that is ready to attack you. You have that feeling because that's basically the Thrope feeling. You see red, yellow, white, and green in front of you. What do you run at?
Red.
Red. Dr. Wright, Frankie is running at you.
I'm gonna eat you.
okay.
You told me to sit.
Frankie Canis Pugnosis, sit!
So, Dr. Wolf, Dr. Wright is near you.
I'm hearing it. I know Latin, so I know what he's saying. I'm like,
Yes.
and remember I'm saying command words, and I'm watching, and Frankie's just like,
And again, for you, you don't know anything about the commands because in each case you have not been in a position to see it or observe it.
right.
So you have no idea what the hell he's yelling at him for.
Well,
But
he's
for
told
you-
me command word. I can use the command word. I'm like, I don't know what the command word is for.
Right.
And it's like, this isn't for Wolf. It's like, is he trying to revert Frankie with commands? Because that's not how this works.
Gotcha. So go ahead, let's drop into initiative.
Damn it!
Oh. Or do you have our initiative from last time?
I can go with that if you guys want.
I don't care.
Might as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we rolled.
All right. So the first thing that happens
that's it.
is Ray closes the distance, which is very easy since you're running at right. Ray closes the distance and is going to try and stab you with the level 2 trank. You have a weird look.
No, sorry. I was like, why is he trying to stab one of us? And then I remembered Frankie's a bad
So
guy.
you have been stuck with double trank.
Okay.
Frankie, go ahead and give me is it willpower, Dr.
It's
Wolf?
vitality.
Give me a vitality roll.
18.
Okay.
Good.
So he's stuck you. Go ahead and give me a willpower roll.
Again?
Yep.
No, this one's
Oh, this was
willpower,
I did
that one's
vitality before. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Woof. 19, 22.
Okay. So Ray at this point is going to try and drop you on his second action, which he is not successful. You moved too fast and out of his way.
I like jump over him.
Is there anything that you want to do from up there? I know you don't want to get closer, but
So who's all gathered up here?
pretty much everyone except Saucer and 2 of the other Bedouins. I think I'm going to have Bess be up with you guys, and the other ones are back holding camels.
Is
Okay.
Marud like with his back turned to us, like
No,
breathing
God,
heavily?
no. Marud and Cal and Billings are up there with you, and they are all looking down. Marud and Cal had weapons out and were shooting the croc. They are not shooting.
Okay, just
They are talking very quietly.
to make sure I remember things correctly, we're like running against time to get back for the...
You are concerned. You have in your mind an idea of how long it's going to take to make the ride back. You still have, if I remember correctly, 2 more places that you are hoping to go in hopes of finding something. Does anyone remember, specifically, I'll ask you, Ayden, if you remember, do you know that Cal found the stone? Because I don't think so.
Yes, I believe
You think
Cal
showed it to everyone?
Cal showed it to me,
I know
and
that.
I let Ayden know.
All right. So you know that one of the things you were looking for, potentially based on Raya's description, you have one of the things you were looking for. So the question then becomes, do you continue looking here? That would be one of the things. Your mind works beautifully. So that's one of the things you're thinking. The second thing you're worried about is you have 2 more places that you need to go. You need to get to the Valley of Kings. And then you were also talking about going to the Golden City, which is basically Luxor proper. You guys move through the older city first. So within that, there is a time constraint, but we're not talking about you need to turn around this hour. We're talking about the next 2 or 3 days you need to finish what you're doing to make it back.
Well, so what I was going to do was have Raw and Abrax.
Sure.
I was going to have them and have... I'm blanking on... the
Saucer's the injured one. Bess is the other one that came with Ron.
Right, so I was going to say... What I was going to say is, okay, guys, this is probably going to get ugly, and if she perhaps tears into them and stuff, last thing I want is you guys. So, Raw and Abrax, I want you to take the rest of the group and start heading towards...
Kings?
Yeah, the Valley of the Kings.
Okay.
And Bess, you will stay here, and Zassar will stay here.
Well, Saucer's the injured one.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So you're gonna
He was hoping you were going to mention that.
I know he's injured,
Right.
but like...
So Bess is going to ask you, so you want me to tell them to mount up and take all the camels?
No, just take the enough that they need, and keep... You are going to stay here with us so we can go once this is all settled out.
So you wish me to hold the remaining camels and for the 2 of them to ride to Valley of Kings and wait for us?
Yes. Well, if we're not there by, like, say, a day, then...
And should I have them bring the... What would he call it? The pack camels. Should I have them bring the pack camels? Is
Yes.
this what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay, very well. And he leaves the group there.
Okay.
Of course, Billings is, very excited, is just chattering away, this, look what's happening. I wonder what Frankie's doing and what happened with the crocodile.
Right.
And
Billings, you're going to go with him. And
so you're going to try and get him Best to take Billings? He says, well,
I want him to take everybody else except basically...
So you're going to try and get Cal and Marud to go?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and give me...
And basically I'm saying, look, if this goes
south,
at least we have some survivors so we know what happens. It's just...
Right. So go ahead and give me a charm roll.
Can I use etiquette or anything? Or is it...
Yes, you can use etiquette.
Okay. So that would be 16.
So with a 16, Cal will begin to argue with you and then look at Marud and say, okay, all right, we'll go. And then the entire swath of them just walk back. Bess goes as well, because of course he's going to be one of the ones telling everyone. And you are now standing on that mountainside alone.
Okay.
All right. So then we will move.
There's one more thing
Yes.
I'm going to do if I can. I'm going to check my gun to see how many bullets are left in it, and I'm going to pull it out in case.
Okay. You only shot 1, to my knowledge, out of the Luger and did not reload.
Yeah, I actually have a few less because I shot it earlier at one point.
Very good. So
I just wanted
know.
to say that. So
Yeah, no,
people
you'll
knew
know.
what
I
was
got
doing.
it. So Raya, Frankie is moving quickly towards Dr. Wright. Ray has jumped in and struck him with a hypodermic. You must assume that it's something that Wolf or someone else gave him. It did not seem to have any effect on Frankie.
As much as Dr. Wright deserves it, and this would be poetic, I can't let him be killed out in the middle of the desert by Frankie.
It's
And
really a question of profession. You know what?
well, It's more of a question on what it will do to Frankie once he's no longer a Thrope.
Thank you for thinking about that, Jill.
So I'm going to try and stop him.
So tell me what that means.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 attacks,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to attack him from behind.
But you won't be able to do that. You would have to move there, which is going to give Frankie the chance to close on Wright. The only thing you're going to be able to do from your position would be to interpose yourself with Dr. Wright and Frankie.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay,
I do want to save 1 action as a dodge.
I've got you. So we then move. But are you going to strike?
Yes,
All right, 'cause
I
you have
am.
more than 1 action.
I
So
am.
go ahead and give me your
I
attack.
have 3 actions, so the
Very
first
good.
will be to interpose myself,
Yep.
the second will be to strike, and then the third will be to
Perfect.
hold.
Frankie, coordination.
Coordination is 7.
I'm not doing a headshot.
Yes.
And just so that everyone knows, we have no chippies in the middle.
You have no chips in the middle.
I said chippies.
23.
She is.
Well, with a 23,
Really
you
good
are going to get a
shaders,
strike.
shader chips.
Go ahead and tell me where you hit. Roll.
What is the to hit?
You've already hit.
Or the
You're going to give me a
location?
roll.
On the back of your sheet, you
Yep,
roll
no,
a
just
d10.
give me a roll. I can do it for you very easily.
It's 2d6 or 2d10.
2d10.
13?
So with a 13, that will be in the torso or chest area. So go ahead and give me damage. Vitality is 7 or 8.
7.
That would be
Vitality, I'm
24
sorry, 8.
damage.
How much?
24 damage.
Vitality's 8.
Gotcha. So at this point, you are not using blades. You are trying to pummel him down. What are you doing?
I am using blades.
You are using blades.
I said I'd injure him, but I'm not going
Gotcha.
to kill him.
So, Frankie, that is a serious wound. Do you have a free dodge like Ray has?
Yeah.
Do you wish to use it now?
Just out of curiosity,
I don't think so.
I don't want to roll Slayer, but you can edit this out if we decided. Is that a stunt?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it totally is.
So you can't use it?
Can't use it, so
Simple
yeah.
enough. No, don't always. We want to do our best to follow
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
All right, so you will take a serious wound,
Okay.
which puts you at nothing because Thrope's don't
Yeah.
deal with damages. But you have a serious wound to the torso.
Torso. Okay.
Does that
Okay.
stop, Frankie?
Not in any way.
Of course not.
Okay, well,
So you're going to hold
let's
for
take him-
dodge for your next action?
I am.
I'm gonna yell out just because I'm kind of watching this.
Sure.
I'm gonna say, try crippling him.
Thank you so much.
oh, okay, I'm gonna move my gun from your dome to your kneecaps.
It's not my dome.
All right.
That would be pretty dope.
Dr. Wright.
Yeah, okay, well, as I see, so out of my corner of eye, I see Raya running in, and I think,
You
well,
see
that's...
Ray come in
Yeah.
and strike.
I say, yeah,
Probably
that
in the
makes
shoulder.
sense.
Mhm.
And then I see Raya come in, slash, and him still coming, and I say,
Yep.
yeah, that makes sense. And then I'm like, okay, well, Frankie, I really don't want to kill you, but... And I'm gonna go ahead and...
But?
You don't need kneecaps right now, they'll grow back. So I'm gonna go ahead and... My thing is, I want to try and hobble Frankie.
Gotcha. So we are going a little more specific than a leg shot. So it's not going to be additional damage, but it is going to be a -3 to hit.
Alright, that works for me. 15. Am I happy with that, though? I'm gonna use one of my rerolls, because I don't
Very
want to
good.
die. I'm gonna use another reroll, because I don't want to die. I'm gonna stick with my original 15, because I'm probably gonna die.
All right, so the 15 will hit.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm gonna use your dice.
Okay.
Uh,
Salt on the wound.
Okay,
Hey,
so...
just remember, if you really want to get another reroll, we have that. You have a little bit of corruption can go a long way.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Barry, I would like to be more corrupt. So... 24 points of damage.
Damn.
Very good. So, Frankie, you have a serious wound to the leg,
Son of a
which
biscuit.
has no actual effect on you.
Yeah.
And?
And I mean, then if Frankie comes... Well, actually, I could move.
You could move.
No, but...
You can also keep both actions as dodges.
Let me ask you this. If looking at him, he's clearly coming at me.
At you. Fully focused.
Okay, I'm going to run basically away from Dr. Wolf and say, shoot him, Wolf! And then run.
Are you going to use both actions to run, or are you
Well,
going to run one action and then hold the other action as a dodge?
I'll do
You
that.
should hold it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
a
hold it as a
dodge.
dodge.
Alright,
Yeah,
very good.
I'm fast. I'm not that fast. I have a 4.
I'm fast and I hold a dodge.
So, Frankie,
Yes.
it's your move now. What has happened is there's some awareness of something at your side, not enough to change anything. something white moves in front of you and strikes you. The white makes the solid strike, and then you have the ability to roll over it as the red is moving away. The red is now fully your focus.
The red is pinging in my brain as the most powerful creature in the area.
Yep.
And so I want to take that out
The
first.
leader.
Yeah.
The pack leader.
Right, I
Dominance.
take him out. I take over the pack. And so I'm the alpha now, and I'm gonna I don't know. I sprint now. I was running
Continue on.
before.
All right.
I'm gunning.
Okay. Do you want to do anything, Raya? You have that action.
So wait, will I
I'm
be
an alpha
attacked?
cuck, I'll tell you.
Oh my god, man.
So, I'm going to try and do a leg shot as well
Okay.
with that action. But I want to try and do something even more specific. I want to try and slice his Achilles tendon so he can't run.
Okay. Go ahead. That is going to be at minus six for you.
Okay.
That's the difference between you and me, Dr. Wright. I'm an alpha gamer.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
14?
Okay. Frankie zooms right past you.
Okay.
I picked up speed. I'm running now.
Right. You the little skip dodge, and you're moving on. So you may take your attack on Dr. Wright.
This is whack. I'm
Give
fast.
me the good dice.
Right? And,
Aren't you
and
glad that you held
Frankie's
an
giving
action
up
to
one of
dodge?
Frankie's two actions to attack you.
Yeah, and I want to go
I'm sorry, to run to catch up with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and
What
so
would
he's
you like
running.
to do?
He's running away from me. I'm gonna go
Yes.
for his leg.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Canis
no.
Agnostics, do not bite your master! No.
And so, okay, I spent a minute. So I roll my vitality as my attack.
Both
That
of our
was-
doctors are going to be
yes,
thropes
you're gonna
now.
roll, add your vitality.
Okay.
Dr. Wright, your coordination is... I'm sorry, your coordination, Frankie.
My coordination is
No,
7.
you're rolling with your coordination, not your
Oh.
vitality. You're
Oh.
damaging with vitality.
Okay, I see. All right.
Dr. Wright, your vitality is...
Vitality?
I'm sorry, coordination.
Coordination is 4.
Yeah. It's 4. Very good.
I got an 18.
So an 18 would hit.
Oh,
Wait,
and I'm
no.
gonna use my dodge.
Then go ahead and give me the roll. You need to beat an 18, adding your coordination.
19.
Hey!
Hey!
Double 9, so 18 plus my
Yep.
coordination, that's
So
23.
that attack
Wait.
will miss.
No,
Yes.
22. But anyway,
Yes.
that was wrong.
So that attack will end up missing.
Nip at your heels.
And now we move on to... Right, that was both actions. So we'll move on to Dr. Wolf.
Well, I've had my aim
I have
going.
3.
You have 3 actions. What are you going to do with your third action?
Do I need to move again, or can I attack again?
No, you're right there with him.
Yeah.
Bite him again.
I'm gonna.
That's
bite you again.
My god, we are going to become a party of thropes.
Ooh, double ones.
Wow. Okay. So
I think
as
that
you take
Frank
the leap,
finally kicked
yeah,
up.
So as you take that leap towards his legs, he gets away from you.
Well, thank God, because I have a free parry, and I was about to bap you one good.
All right. So you're gonna have to get up, which is no problem for me.
Yeah.
But you basically hit ground as you leap towards him.
Perfect. He's prone at the
Yeah.
moment,
Yes.
and I've aimed. So
Yes.
how many? So how much do you want to say I have an advantage on this attack, other than the 5 that I'm getting from the aim? So, if any.
Besides-
You're present. You are just getting the +5.
That's
In
right.
Unhallowed, prone is not a problem.
Oh.
Excellent.
I almost said suck it. I'm sorry, Mike.
Totally
thoughts are
fine.
evil.
No, I'm
Totally
gonna say
fine.
that because you waited until after he attacked me to fire. I don't think I did not notice that. I think that was a double.
I thought you handed it. I'm gonna use one of my rerolls.
Use all your goddamn rerolls, Michael.
That's way better. That is 19.
So that is a 19. That will just hit. Go ahead and give me location.
9.
That is torso. That is probably the best place other than head to get it.
It's the biggest location, so.
Very good. So, Frankie, go ahead and give me a vitality roll.
You mean butt cheek isn't a location?
Not for speed. Not for
I
getting
wanna
this thing
use a
going
reroll.
quickly.
Frankie, do you want to use a rerun?
21.
There's nothing that says you can't use a reroll. Where are the rules says that Frankie can't use a reroll? Reroll a success.
All right. So with a 21, very good. Dr. Wolf, you have more actions that you wish to do something with?
Let me see what do I have?
Reload and shoot him again.
That might have to be what it is. I need to see what I have left. At this point, I'm out of the triple. I have one last double dose.
You have one more than Ray had? Remember Ray had it.
Oh, right. Never mind. I need to erase that.
Very good.
Let me just erase these since they're gone. I have one last normal tranquilizer.
Okay, so you're going to load it.
I'm going to load it, and that's my last.
That's your last action. All right, so we are going to cycle back up to the top. Ray is going to come over, is going to get up, is going to move towards Frankie, and is going to make a first attack with no success. Wow, and a second attack with no success. And we now move down to Ayden. I'm assuming you're getting the group together or no, you've set them off, so
Yeah.
you are watching what's going on.
So I'm pulling up, or I have my Luger out. I have 2 shots left in it.
Very good.
I'm going to aim for my first action.
Yep.
And then my second action, I'm going to shoot, and I'm aiming for the gizzard's vital area.
Okay, so
The
you're going to
stomach.
actually be at -4 to hit.
-4 to hit.
I mean, I'm on all fours.
I thought that's -3.
You are still at -1.
Oh.
Because you are at range.
Oh. And I still have the wound, so that would probably make it 0 at this point. Not. Okay, I'm going to roll again. Okay, I don't hit.
Okay, and is that all your actions?
Yes.
All right, Raya.
So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to attack him twice
Okay,
and save an action
one
for a dodge.
Very good.
So right now I'm trying to get his attention away from Dr. Wright.
Okay, so are you taunting him? Are you doing something like that as an action, or are you?
I'm going to taunt him on the first action.
Go ahead and give me a charm roll.
You're gonna say a taunt.
That would be a 19.
Very good, Frankie. Go ahead and give me an intellect roll.
Oh,
Frankie, don't waste your time on him.
I got a 5.
A 5. Okay, so the red in front of you starts to fade a little, and there's somebody has said something that's drawn you. Your name draws you, although you may not realize it. And as you spin around, the white starts to basically haze into red.
He's weak. I'm the only one who's a powerful warrior here at your level.
That is.
I know Ray would be like, "Hey."
The logic is sound. I pivot. You know?
All right, and for your second action,
My second action, I'm going to just take another shot.
all right. Had you not switched on the first one, I would have forced you to roll again with the hit, if it's a hit.
That would be a 24.
That would be a hit. Go ahead and give me location.
A 10.
That'll be torso. Give me damage.
21 damage.
All right. So that one is also a serious wound, changing nothing. You already have one in the torso, right?
Yeah.
All right. So then we move down from Raya to Wright. Dr. Wright, it appears that Frankie's focus is no longer on you.
Has Frankie moved away from me, or is he
Nope,
still?
Frankie is turned and is getting up. And you've already heard the taunt from Raya.
Back turned to me. We should place that further on you, Dr. Wolf.
Waste me, my dear doctor. This was the key step to my evolution.
You're right. We'll come back to that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna move away. I'm gonna
Up
get
the hill towards Ayden?
No, because it was. Is Raya in the same direction as where Wolf is?
No.
Then I'm gonna go back to Wolf.
All right, very good. So you're moving over towards Wolf,
Yes,
holding the
so-
other action?
Yeah, does that take 2 of my actions?
That'll take one. So
That'll
you're
take
holding the
one.
other 2 actions?
Yeah, I'll hold on to them for right now.
All right. Moving down, I'm going to go to Frankie. So, Frankie, the focus in front of you is definitely and has struck you.
And she's in melee range, right?
Oh, yes.
Even more frenzied builds. I'm
Yes.
like frothing at the mouth. I'm gonna attack you at this point.
So,
I act-
Raya, your coordination
Doing coordination.
is?
My
And then
coordination's a 5.
Ooh, that's very bad.
Which is also conversely very good for you.
11.
11 will not hit.
I'm gonna go back in again,
All right.
and I'm just kind of lunging at you. 9 plus 7 is 16.
16 will just hit.
Okay.
location.
Can I use my dodge?
You can. Do you want to before learning the location?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll. You need to beat an 11.
What do I add to that? Coordination?
You're going to add coordination to your dodge.
20.
Yeah. So move out of the way. So Frankie, it's frustrating. This one
Yeah.
actually moves like a fighter.
Yeah, so third action, I'm gonna lunge for you again. Nice on your side, Jill. So that is a 18.
18 would hit.
Oh.
Okay.
So you don't have a dodge now. Oh,
I don't
no.
have a dodge.
Okay, 17.
17 is going to be the right leg.
Okay.
So
that-
you move back, and
Yeah.
Frankie lunges for you. Probably throw up a kick block, and Frankie's going to attack the leg for vitality. Raya,
My vitality is a 5.
do you have anything armored?
I have armor, but my armor is on the torso.
Just the torso. Okay,
The only thing I've got on the legs are boots,
right, which are not
which
specifically
are not
armored.
specifically armored.
All right, what do we have for damage?
20.
Okay,
Are you biting?
I'm slashing.
slashing
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, okay.
So that is a serious wound. So you have a
Okay.
serious wound on the which leg?
Right.
Real quick question. Michael, is Dr. Wolf have another vial and your rifle out by chance?
He has the vial loaded in the rifle. Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh. You're gonna do what I think you're
Out
gonna
of
do.
curiosity, would I get any of my bonus from pistol if I use this gun? Because I'm not trained in rifles specifically. Is it a rifle that I need?
It's a rifle. No, you would not get any bonus from this.
And so it would be straight coordination?
Correct.
Oh my god.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Sequoia, you're the first person who's done damage
I
to me
was
the whole
Now
game.
everybody in the
to
group has
Ever.
been
Say,
damaged,
I was gonna say, I think it's very poetic.
right?
I mean, that's a little bit of a movie moment.
I want
Alright.
to turn. I shoot Raya.
All right. So Frankie,
You know
if
what?
you will-
Frankie, go ahead and turn me into a thrope, because I'm going to kill him.
That's it.
So Frankie, go ahead and give me another vitality roll.
Okay. 17.
Very good. All right. So then we move down to Dr. Wolf.
So, fast aim. Because
Okay.
I have that. So it only takes one action to do my aim. And we're going to try and shoot Frankie again.
And this is with a standard train.
Standard one. And,
Oh.
you know,
Well, good luck.
yeah, we'll see. You never know.
Hey, maybe they stack.
Who knows?
Gotta be like a 37 or whatever.
That is a grand total of 17.
That will hit. Go ahead and give me
A location?
location.
9.
This time, of course, in the back. All right. Frankie, go ahead and give me a vitality.
Please. Please botch. Please botch.
13.
A 13.
Oh.
And
And
what is normal
16.
strength is 16? Very good.
Mhm.
All right. So we cycle back to the
But we're
top.
going to see how many rounds it takes.
So we cycle back to the top, and Ray is going to come over, and Ray is going to endeavor to grapple you, basically put you in a hold. Go ahead and give me it would be vitality. Yep, go ahead and give me a vitality roll.
19.
00.
Oh.
He actually gets a hold of you and then sets. So for any of you guys out there now, Ray has got Frankie in basically a full Nelson, is fighting the thrust, basically moving to keep the legs free. So we're going to move because he's going to hold him in place. Ayden, from your position, you cannot shoot without hitting someone, probably, if you don't exactly hit Frankie. And Ray, you know Ray well enough to know that he probably has a good hold on him. Ray is very large. Frankie is currently very large.
Yeah.
I'll just hold my action there.
Okay? And then we move from yours down to Raya.
Okay, so now that that Ray has him grappled, I want to try and do the Achilles tendon.
Ooh.
Okay, so attack to do damage as opposed to attack to stun.
Keep him from running. He can't run.
Okay.
If
So I
he's-
will let you know that the way that Frankie is thrashing, you have a chance to potentially hit Ray. Think in terms of Ray is not lifting him that far off the ground, but Frankie is thrashing, legs going everywhere, the arms trying to push against Ray just over and over again.
You know, I think I am going to try and stun him instead.
Okay? By doing what?
I want to try and hit him with the blade, the flat of the blade
Where?
on the head.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and give me a roll at -3.
What's my negative for the wound on my leg?
-2. So you'll be at -5.
15.
So with a 15, and he is currently grappled, that's 15 after the -5?
That is.
That will be a hit. Go ahead and
Ooh.
give me damage. You're adding 5 for the headshot.
That would be a 26.
Okay. And it looks like the throat goes out.
Okay.
So Raya knocked him out. So Ray is not releasing. Ray's like, what are we doing?
So
what are we doing?
I'm immediately running over to Frankie Thrope, and what I want to do is I'm looking at the head where Raya hit, and then looking at the wounds and everything.
Bleeding from everywhere.
Yeah. So
4 hours for the trank.
and then I will shout out, Dr. Wolf, how long will this last? And I'm checking him because before when we've seen Thropes go out like this, they're out for a time. So. I'm like checking the eyes, so I'm doing an investigation of Frankie.
Sure.
And what I'm also looking for is that like slow healing for wounds.
Go ahead and give me your medicine.
I'm basically hoping he doesn't have that.
And so Ray's again gonna yell, what are we doing?
Ray, just hold him there.
Yeah.
Ayden, you stand up the hill. Yes.
17.
17.
I'm going to hold my next 2 actions for in
Okay.
case Frankie is not actually out.
So Frankie is becoming heavier in Ray's arms, is definitely out. There is the definite healing already happening.
So, Wolf's going to be asking like very specific questions to help with that about like, what's this? It's like, because it's like the main thing is like, if she just knocked him out, then he's probably going to be up real quick. If it's the trank, he needs to know that the trank's working. And
so go ahead and give me a medicine roll. You are going to go ahead and give me a medicine roll, Dr. Wolf. Hold on, Dr. Wright.
yeah, that is 19.
Very good. Go ahead and give me a medicine roll, Dr. Wright.
I'll use my last reroll. I'll use my free reroll that I forgot about.
That was medicine. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
The other one is it's only going to be a 14.
Okay. So with the 14 and with Dr. Wolf, the two of you believe that Frankie is out from the trank. Now, when we say the trank, Frankie's been tranked 3 times.
Okay.
So,
Dr. Wolf.
yeah, at this point, Rolf's starting to come down the hill once that's like, settled. You can set him down now, right?
Ayden Billings Nope, Billings is not there.
Oh, yeah.
So, Wolf, how long do we have before Frankie turns back, do you think? What's the usual range on these?
Perhaps we should bind him?
What
Ray's like, that's what I was kind of suggesting.
Raya, what bindings do we have that could do anything? Rope won't hold him.
The best if it were a situation where we weren't certain is if we weren't certain about any time frame of how long it was going to take, it's best to actually just leave him in place without anyone around
Would
until
I
he
know
turns back.
what Frankie has on his person as far as what he would use for monsters?
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
you guys worked together so long.
I imagine we like kind of even
Ayden,
cross-trained.
Bess is going to ask you, should
you
I go
have,
stop them from leaving?
Um,
Are we leaving?
handcuffs
Okay, so-
or manacles or anything like that on you?
Let me check.
I do have one question.
Piercing
Yes.
irons.
So, I don't have it down, but I think I would have brought chains in case we ever had to pull something or like lift something where rope wouldn't be strong enough.
I'm going to force you to make an intellect roll for that.
Okay.
I'm not certain that you would have, in part because of the cost of getting quality chains.
I do, in fact, have piercing irons, which could be used horribly.
So does 15 work?
I'm not sure what piercing irons are.
They're like
I would
salad.
think that you would have brought some chain.
Okay. I'm gonna grab that and run down the hill towards
So
her.
go grab and come. Oh, actually, it won't be there because it would be on the pack camel, which is gone.
Okay.
Piercing irons are like salad tongs for a skull, and there's like points.
Yeah, I don't want to do that to you.
And I'm basically just gonna pull down on my face and take off my actually I don't have glasses, but if I did I would take them off, and I'm gonna say, you all are such fools.
I just saved your life, Doctor.
Yes, well, if all of you weren't so incompetent, maybe what I could have done was try to prevent this with the command word I put in his head for this precise reason. Why do you think that's in there? It's for this. But no, I was too afraid that you all would kill me for saying these words. So guess what? I wasn't able to stop this, and now they almost killed me.
As he's doing
Us.
his rant, he is listening to parts of this, but he's checking Frankie and muttering over some things. He goes, in the middle of the freaking rant, he just asks, I've only seen Frankie transform twice. Has he transformed more than this?
No. After the first time is when I did that to try and prevent this from happening.
Barry,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard him say the words now 3 times.
4 times.
4 times. And he just explained what they are.
Yes.
Do I know Frankie's command now?
I would think you would have to endeavor to repeat it, but yes. You'd have to remember to repeat it, but yeah, I mean, it's not unreasonable that you would.
Okay.
If it's only been twice, there is a possibility that he might, depending, it can always depend with these things, he might only be a Thrope for 10 minutes. He could be a Thrope for 2.5 hours at this point.
Ray's gonna say, isn't he always a throat?
Not this form.
This way, like this. The dangerous form.
The trank should work anywhere from 2 to 6 hours.
Oh, excellent. So, he might just wake up. That's great. Really good job, everyone. And I'm gonna start clapping.
Wolf gets up as he's doing the clapping, and his left hand just fucking decks him.
Go
Yeah!
ahead and give me a roll. Are you striking for the head?
Probably, yes.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll at -3.
If I can, I'll take a free pair. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's with my knife. Never mind.
That is a 21.
Yeah, okay, so you get clocked.
Okay.
Wolf, as satisfying as that is, please control yourself. I really don't have it in me to fight a second Thrope today.
And Ray's gonna be complaining, hey, we don't have time for this. Look down there. And you guys can see 2 of the crocs are coming up to shore.
And I'm gonna...
We need to go.
Did you clock me in the face?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stand up from that now that you actually fixed my jaw from where Frankie is. So thank you for that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take my bag and I'm gonna say, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to the camels. You all can drag Frankie along. Have fun with that. And I'm gonna start walking up the hill.
So
And I'm gonna
Ray's
reload
like, are
my
we
gun.
going?
We're going.
So Ray is going to endeavor to heft Frankie up, which I think he'll be able to do.
I'll try and help him, even though
Yep.
I'm damaged.
He's gonna need help.
Wolf's gonna try and help too.
I'm gonna look at Bess and say, let's try to sling like a dragging thing so we can pull.
You want to build a travois to pull by the camels? Why don't we just drape him like we did with the other one?
Yeah, let's just
you
drape
can.
him over a camel.
I mean, he looked freaking big, right?
He's big.
I'll look at Bess and say, do you think that's not gonna hurt the camel?
Maybe we put him on his?
Fuck my camel.
Yeah,
Put him on his own camel?
Alright. I just figured dragging would be a lot
are we
easier.
running? Or are we moving at a...
We're gonna move at a normal pace. We'll catch up to
I think
him.
We have a
It'll be fun.
tarp. Do we have ropes? Because we just lay him down on the tarp and we have the ropes tied to 2 camels. We could just drag him along the sand.
Well, that was the travois
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But, I mean, it depends on what you guys hit.
Yeah.
So, you get up there,
Short
you
of
guys
meter
start
rocks.
tying Frankie to the camel.
Oh god. I don't know. I hope the camel can handle this.
The camel can handle this.
Okay.
So you guys have Frankie tied. Everybody else is getting into their camels, getting ready to go.
Dr. Wolf.
If they have any lag behind, I just go straight up and hop on my camel.
Okay.
And my question is, which is important to me,
Yes.
how far behind are there, and is anybody up here with me?
Nobody is
Because-
up here with you.
Excellent. So
I'm sorry. Ayden and Bess are up here with you, but they're not over with
they
you.
aren't bringing stuff down?
No, right?
No.
You didn't bring anything
No.
down, did you?
Hmm.
But they
I
are
also-
not focused on you.
I also, just so people know, I checked out, I looked at my gun and looked at the doctor while he was yelling down there. I'm just like,
Okay, so I'll watch Ayden for about, 30 seconds.
They're watching down.
They
They're
are
the
watching.
group
So
come
as far as I can tell, nobody's watching me.
in. As far as you can tell.
Okay.
What's Raya? Raya, go ahead.
We're
Dr.
getting
Wolf,
the camel ready
Before
for
we
the
leave,
heavy load.
would you mind taking a look at my leg, please?
There's a moment because Wolf is actually kind of, despite the anger, he's actually kind of surprised he hit Wright. I have one important question for you, Barry, because I know there's been a lot of no pain for Wolf. When I did punch him, because punching a person does actually cause trauma.
Yep.
Did I actually feel
Nope.
that? Nope. Still not there.
Nope.
And it's just looking at this, and it's just
And you can see that there's damage to the hand. I mean, you're not blown open or anything, but
Yeah,
that's going to leave a mark.
yeah, exactly. And it doesn't look like it's doing the throat recovery thing as far as
Not the way you would expect it to. You know something's going on because
okay.
they've already talked with you about
Yeah.
the weirdness of what's going on with your body and face.
Yeah, so there's, I mean, for some reason the burns haven't gone away, but
Nope.
they're lessening
Correct.
somewhat. Yeah, it's
Correct.
weird. So yeah, Wolf's kind of looking at this. It's just oh yes. Well, are we away from the crocodiles first?
You guys are moving away.
Okay.
So that is not a fear anymore. So, right?
So-
yes, I will take a look. Let me.
I open my valise as I'm watching
Yep.
him. As long as nobody looks, what I'm doing is I ruffle in there a little bit to make a little bit of noise, just enough to where I know, either he'll kill me or he won't. And if it's light enough, I want to pull out a syringe that I have in there along with a syringe case, and I want
Okay.
to put that into my under pocket so that I have it available
On your body as opposed to in the valise.
Yes.
Okay? And then,
And then I wait.
okay.
So
Very good.
22. So that's a 22 on medicine for her leg.
Okay. So it has been a little while since we've actually had the ability to do medicine. What does medicine do as far as abilities?
That's a good question. One moment.
Wow. When's the last time
Now
we actually
loading.
healed
The
one
now loading
another?
screen.
It's not a criminal skill.
We so rarely actually get hurt.
It's academic
Why is it not a basic skill?
because it's knowledge.
I'm just wondering if it actually fixes anything. I think all it does is that you can,
don't
with
think she's
successful
dead.
roll, you'll be able to speed the recovery.
Yeah, and
With
that's
and without care have 2 valuations.
Exactly.
So, and a quick read, that's where we're at. So, the group comes up. You guys now will take the time to get Frankie secured. You've got everyone loaded on camels. Yes?
Just so, because Frankie's so big, and because it seemed, I figure I heard that the whole, you could be out for 2 hours, but technically it could, be still a throw.
Yep.
I'm tying him under the camel's belly with
Okay.
rope,
Okay.
just with the hope,
Sure.
I will probably have to give a ceremony for the camel's family and stuff, but at least so we hear that, we have some warning.
I like the
Frankie-
thought of so you basically have him wrapped around the
Yeah.
camel, and I like the thought of at some point it rumbles enough that Frankie rolls and is exactly the opposite way.
That's what I was thinking.
Instead of hands and feet under the camel's belly, it's now body under the camel's belly and hands and feet over the
You can actually
over the saddle.
tie it in such a way so that doesn't
Oh,
happen.
I understand. I was just laughing at the imagery.
Funny.
But yeah, like the Looney Tunes. Just
Yes.
right.
So, are we doing anything else here, or are we heading out?
I will say, well, where to next? And also, now that you're all here, Ayden, where the hell is everybody else?
I sent them off in case you were unable to stop Frankie, so that at least there would be somebody to tell what happened to the expedition.
You sent them away from us.
To the next site that we're heading to.
One person who is our ride, regardless of whether they're with Cal or Marood, is away from us. Billings. Billings is our ticket out of here. He's the one that
We'll meet up with them. But if we had all died, I thought,
Why not have them wait across the dune right there? I could see
from
down
what I
there.
have seen, the Thrope is an unstoppable monster. I'm not going to take chances. If you have a problem with that, Doctor, we could speak about it privately.
No, let us finish this. I've grown tired of Egypt. I wish to return home.
So, are we? Oh, actually, I set them up, but up means down, and down means over.
Yeah.
We were going to the Valley of Kings, which required you guys to cross the river.
Right.
So, somebody give me a natural sciences roll. Ideally, Ayden, if you have to.
So that would be... Do I get any bonus because of my Wastelander?
Yes.
Okay. So I have 16 total.
So with a 16, it takes you guys about 20 minutes to catch up with the rest of them. As soon as you guys catch up, Billings is going to endeavor to get his camel over to Dr. Wright, and he's going to start asking you questions. What happened with Frankie? Frankie seems to be in such control all the time, and he's going to pester.
I'm just gonna talk to him. I know he's...
How open? I mean, you're not going to give secrets, but
No.
is he going to know Frankie's throat?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I'm gonna say, oh, Frankie is all right. He's tuckered out. He sometimes does that. He usually does have such control, but sometimes, well, I try to help, but sometimes the people I'm with don't listen, Billings. It's good. It's good that
I love it.
it's good that I have you as a friend.
He says, well, yes, of course you do. He says, I've had this trouble too. Business is difficult.
It is. And you know
Often-
what? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, often people don't listen.
That is right. So, Billings, can I ask you, we got some ride with us, and ideally I'm kind of not drifting him away, but just kind of to the edge away from them.
Okay.
And I'm just like, so like maybe I'll like move my camel over slightly so that his
Sure.
camel will move over. And say, what we should really talk about is the return trip. And I know that young Master Grayling was very interested in the Zeppelin business. So why don't we talk a little bit about that on the way there? I think being that we're gonna be partners.
Yeah, so as he sparks up, he will say, what? And he seems to be stumbling. He says,
You don't
Lord
remember?
Grayling would be partners.
Oh,
I'm sorry if I gave you the impression that he was purchasing shares.
Oh.
Were you to be a part of that purchase?
Wait, Billings, didn't you tell me you were going to give me some shares?
So he seems to think, he says, I don't think so, but... And he goes to grab something out of the pack which isn't there, and he says, oh, well, when we stop, remind me again. I have it all written down.
Oh, okay, it's in your journal?
It is.
Oh, excellent. Yes, I will be sure to remind you. Let's
All right.
talk business.
So, he'll talk with you about what his plans are. And he's very open with where he wants to go, what he wants to set up.
I'm just feeding it.
Super important thing that you will notice, he talks in ways that make you believe that he does not realize that Mei Ling is not here. It's not something as blatant as where he turns over and talks to her and then talks to you. But he talks in terms of, well, at some point Mei Ling and I were planning to have a route to China. I know that she would like to potentially see and find family members that she has not heard from in a very long time. There's one spur of the family, and goes on and on about that. But you get the feeling that he is still not connective to the fact that she is not here and is not coming back. So, Raya, something for you. Who knows about the stone? Who knows about the stone that Cal gave?
Only Ayden.
Only Ayden. All right. So, Ayden, the picture, if you remember, it's in there if you don't, the individual was holding two stones. There was something that obviously fit into the stone. You can see it. Did you give it to Ayden?
Yes.
All right. You can see the stone itself holding it in your hand, that something must go in the stone. But there are two stones to make whatever it is work, not just one.
Okay.
So something to consider. Did you tell him, Raya, that Cal was the one that brought it to you?
Yes, and I also told him about the other group that Cal saw, the other
So,
organization.
You may go ahead and give me a history roll.
19 total.
Novus Exercitus Dei is a real problem here. They have been stealing artifacts. The Cairo Museum that you've dealt with, the National History Museum, has had a number of items that they believe is linked to thefts by them. You are aware of
resent that.
I was gonna say, it's like, I think we have the perfect patsy for that unfortunate destruction of the Cairo Natural History Museum, and the Walking Anubis statue.
So they seem to move, things that you've heard, they seem to move through Alexandria. There is some suggestion that they are connected to the Explorers Society. You've heard that. That is only important because you know a number of these people have been involved with the Explorers Society, or it's been brought up. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't for you. They don't tend to be violent. You have never directly had a run-in, but you have spoken with some of the other art dealers and some of the other people that go out both for study and expedition who have dealt with them, and they will steal everything, but they will not leave people destitute and incapable of surviving.
Okay.
They seem to be kind of, I'm not even sure what you would call it. Thieves is what I'm gonna use with it. There does seem to be some kind of a connection as you started. At times you kind of delved into this over the last few years, where you're seeing things thinking, okay, they grab this, and this connects to this myth, and they grab this and this connects to this myth. So them being out here is a concern, but not a concern where you'd immediately say, hey, they're following us, or they're chasing the same things we are, or anything like that.
All right.
So, does anyone want to do anything as far as talking with anyone else on the lengthy walk to the Valley of Kings?
Well, I wanted to look at the stones and see, is there like
stone,
sorry. Is there an indenture?
There's an indention in it that obviously something fits into.
What is it, like diamond shaped?
It's not diamond shaped. It looks like you can stick your thumb into it.
Okay.
So it's thumb sized. If the thing was taken out years ago, it could easily just be degradation of time and people fiddling with it that would open that space up.
Okay. But does the stone seem like that soft? Like that would be the effect?
No. The stone is stiff enough, resistant enough, that it would take a lot of wear.
Okay.
You know, one of those worry stone things where if you were to hold it and mess with it, futz with it over a long period of time, you might take a veneer of a millimeter off.
Does it look like, just because of what we're dealing with, does it look like you could put blood in there or something? Or
you easily could, although going back to the rubbings, the way it's being held, two things. One, it would flow out. Two, you think you would have seen blood in the picture if blood was an active component. In almost every case, the reliefs that you have seen, if there's an active component, it seems to be in the picture somewhere.
Okay.
And in the couple of rubbings that you've gotten, especially the main one, there does not appear to be anything like that.
Okay. I was just curious because on the picture there's like a reversed onk, so
yes,
I was thinking maybe anti-life or something, but
actually, if you'll hand me the picture, I want to verify it's the one I'm looking at.
It's right by his face.
Dark side.
I knew it. I knew this was a dark side.
All right, I'm going to hand this back to you. So there is an ability for you to now make a history or theology roll. They will give you different things. Which one would you like to roll?
Well, let's start with history and then do
pick
theology.
Pick one, because it'll be the road that your mind go.
Yeah, let's do history.
History.
So that's 15, 17.
So with a 17, quite often these reliefs get hit with graffiti. And your belief looking at that, though it's not new graffiti, it's not like somebody suddenly did this, in the last couple of weeks, but you believe that that onk is quite possibly not part of the original picture.
Okay, so...
And I was waiting for someone to notice or say something about that.
Somebody tagged it. All right.
Not certain, but you would be fairly confident of that.
All
like
right.
an anarchy, eh?
So looking at the stone...
Mm-hmm. And this is all while we're writing.
I would like to...
Are you hiding in what you're doing in any way? Are you under your cloak?
No. I mean...
Writing or...
Right. Well, that's why I'm asking.
Oh, shit.
So Cal
my
at some
thighs
point...
are so strong. That camel's like...
So at some point after meeting up, Cal is going to notice you with the stone and is going to come over and start asking questions.
Okay.
Do you think it's the stone from Grayling's paper? That's the first thing.
I think there's a strong chance. It definitely looks like it.
And so Cal will talk with you for a bit about what your thoughts are. Cal is a novice at this kind of stuff, seems to have more of an awareness of grand story and mythology as opposed to history, the roots of these things. but seems to be very open to talking and very open to changing his opinion on what he's saying. A good student is the way you would kind of look at it.
All right.
So Cal's going to ask, if I remember correctly, in the rubbings there were 2, one in each hand.
Yep. Which means there might be another one out there.
Frankie?
Also looks like something fits in these holes.
I just had a question about the holes. Are they like all the way through, or just
It is
like
not all the way through.
Okay.
And it doesn't look that way in the relief either.
Okie dokie.
So he will ask you, he says, you think they would be separated? You don't think they would both be there?
You know, that would be the ideal, but, you know, there could have been some sort of political fracas. There could have been a, like, schism in the temple where they were being kept, and, like, the sect split, and so they each took one. I mean, there could be a lot of causes.
Is it possible, do you think, to do the ceremony or whatever it is with only one of those?
It could be possible, but I would just feel like it was my due diligence to try to find both stones and find what goes within them.
Does anyone else envision that they are near Ayden and Cal, not Billings and Wright, of course, but anyone else? Do you feel like there's a reason you would be riding close?
I'm riding close to the camel that Frankie's tied to.
Very good. All right, so Cal is going to say, kind of lean in. Marud, you'll notice, stays always close to Cal. Everyone's going to notice that. It's going to be odd if Marud is away from Cal.
Isn't the norm, though?
That's the norm.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I'm saying that's the norm
Yeah.
for you
For
guys.
Wolf, there's only been really 2 times that Marud has been away. The first time was on the Zeppelin, and he was very well aware that Marud was basically watching him.
Yep.
The other time was when Marud went off to get the camels.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
very rare.
Very rare. So
Um,
Marud is close, but not eavesdropping. Although you believe very easily Marud may be hearing what's going on. Cal is going to say to you,
Well,
"Then I think we have a concern."
okay.
And this is potentially the first time you're really noticing it. But Cal has dried blood on the front of his cloak, basically his gear, on the front of his gear, and a good splash of it. My concern is Novus Day may have the other stone.
Ooh.
Marud and I appropriated this one from them.
Well, that is certainly going to make matters more difficult.
Have you been able to figure anything out? Anything more from the rubbings?
Well,
Why would they be after it? I mean, unless... Now, I've known Aaron for a while. I've known Aaron to be a little careless. But when it's something like this, something that he's that engrossed in, I don't believe he makes mistakes of letting information out.
well, I think that likely they would be after it because anyone who potentially controlled the ability to control zombies, I mean, it would make them quite wealthy.
When we stop, I think we should ask Dr. Wright to take a look at the rubbings again.
Did anybody see the original stone
When you say stone, which stone?
that the rubbing was taken from?
I did not. I thought I understood Dr. Wright was the one who actually took the rubbings.
Dr. Wright?
Yes.
No, I'm just...
Oh, so he's way over there. He and Billings are just chatting
Middle
it up.
finger just goes up in the distance.
Well, you wouldn't hear when he said it at that level, but are you going to ride over to him?
Yeah, I'll ride over to him.
So Cal's going as well. Bruce following.
Do I see him coming?
Probably not,
Okay.
but do you forewarn him that you're coming?
Well, when
At
I
some
get
point?
within range where you'd probably hear it,
Yep.
yeah, I'd say, Dr. Wright, I have a question for you.
Billings, one moment. Let me go ahead and
Yes,
please,
yes,
I
yes, of
do
course.
want to hear about the ratio to. I think it was helium. You said it maybe about using hydrogen. I think we should talk about that more. Yes.
You saw the original stone, correct?
Yes.
Was there any paint or pigment on it?
No, there was no paint or pigment. It was
Alright.
maybe some dirt, some mud, but that's because we shoved it in a cellar.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, so wait. We should at least ask him. So, Dr. Wright, when you did the rubbings, were there any more than these that you've shown us? Was anything else not taken?
I mean, so from my memory, I just chunked a piece off. Well, I had taken the rubbing, and then later on chunked a piece off.
Right. And that piece you don't have.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, that's sold. I'm not gonna mention that.
Right. I'm just saying. I want to. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, I'll say. Well, I mean, I could tell you where the stone is at, but it's way that way, and I'm just gonna point a random direction. I mean, I can try to see if I remember anything. I mean, I have a pretty good memory.
So, Doctor, do you have any connection to the Explorers Society?
That's a rude question to ask. Well, no, it's actually a legitimate question.
So, yes.
Is that something you advertise? They seem secretive.
So there are two levels to the Explorers Society. There's one that's the gentleman's side, which is basically the outdoing each other. I killed a 4-horned rhino. Well, I killed a 5-horned rhino.
Yeah.
And there was a pelican on it.
And then there's the vampire one.
Right, and then there's the vampire thing, which you're not sure how that one connects.
Yeah.
You just know it's there.
I will say, yes, I've had some dealings with the Explorer Society.
I have as well, Cal says. Any talk of this when you've been there? I guess my question is, Aaron seems to have believed that this is something only he has found. Would any of the crew that you had gotten the rubbings with, would anyone mention it callously to the side? I mean, would somebody mention it to a bar room, or even possibly brag about it within the confines of the Explorer Society?
I'll say, well, I mean, I can't imagine why. No one here would be bragging about that. Frankie would have only bragged about the numerous animate slain. There was another person with us, and I think about Krell for a moment, and I'm like, but no, he was Grayling's man, so I don't think he would.
Krell?
But yes, Krell.
Cal says. So that should be interesting to you. Krell. Well, and immediately he wouldn't say a word.
Yes,
he keeps to himself.
Yes. What is this in regards to? Why do you think somebody else knows? I mean, who else would come out to Egypt to try and pilfer something that might not even exist other than stupid us?
Again, this is why we're questioning.
Did you tell us you sold the stone or not?
No. Nobody in game knows that Dr. Wright did that.
And I'll say, okay, well, are we in some kind of other danger? And I'm going to point back to Frankie. Are we in some kind of other danger to deal with right now?
Cal's going to look away from Dr. Wright at you and give you, with his face, a questioning look with his eyes, and then a slight nod in the doctor's direction.
Okay. I'm going to say we may be competing for the same things against another organization.
Remember I had mentioned that we had run into Novus Exercitus Day?
Oh.
Novus Day for short?
Yes, I remember, but it was kind of in a kerfuffle.
It is possible that they're here for the same. I just don't understand why.
Oh.
With so many things to be found in Egypt, Ayden, I'm sure you can support me with this. Billings, by the way, who can hear this, will pipe in immediately with, I'm sure you guys would let the chatter go, but it's, would we be looking for stuff? Could we bring other things back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, for you, Ayden, you know that even though Egypt is not Egypt, Egypt is Cairo, that the current pharaoh in Cairo doesn't want anything leaving. Okay. Excuse me, the current caliph in Cairo does not want anything leaving and has tried very hard to maintain control of anything that goes out. Just throwing that out there is something you would know that the others probably would not.
Okay, well, that, I suppose, would be... I've never heard of them, right? Like, Wright hasn't ever heard of that group.
Nope.
And I would add, there is ways to get things out.
Oh, I'm certain, Cal says.
I'll say, well... I can't fathom which one of us would have said anything, so
I'm not suggesting that. I was asking if somebody might have, not in an accusatory way, but possibly to try and make a connection.
Well, none that I could think of.
The rest of the group, I know that Raya had said that she has been. Has any of the rest of the group been involved with the Explorer Society?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Because of what he said, could I kind of make like a roll to see if he's acting kind of guilty?
So basically, you're going to give me a psychology roll, but you're going to kind of cold read?
Yeah. 15. I don't have psychology. Is there an attribute?
No, but just
Okay.
a straight 15. So, I'm going to ask you, Pedro, are you being cagey about something? It doesn't sound like you are. The
You're-
only thing...
No.
Always cagey.
The reason why I'm saying this is because Pedro said, well, I don't know if anyone who would have sold anything.
No, I said anything.
Said anything.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
still, though, the way he said it is it's like...
No, that's
nobody's
good.
saying
That's
that.
good.
Cal said that.
Yeah.
Cal said, did anybody say anything?
What you're picking up from him is what you're realizing when you first made your determination of who and what Dr. Wright was. You're reevaluating it,
Right.
as probably everyone in the group is. But you're reevaluating it, and so for you might be reading that from him now. It's not an extreme thing.
Right.
You're not feeling like, oh, he's blatantly lying. It's like, well, there must be something along those lines, but it could be as simple as he's, trying to find a way to sell it or something. I'm not throwing that out. There's a thing just there's something else up, but it would be minor.
Right. So I'm just hitting the X button.
So, and Cal's going to say, thank you, Doctor.
I'm going to pull out my compass while we're there, and I'm going to move it towards the stone. Is there anything like...
Does not affect the compass.
Okay. And then magnifying glasses, I'm going to very carefully look over the stone. I'm kind of
Go ahead and give me a coordination roll to get them out and put them on your head while riding a camel and holding the stone.
Challenge accepted.
Well, and holding on with your legs and...
So, I told you that camel's not having a good day. So that's 14
Yep,
plus
you're
my
fine.
coordination. 18.
Now you're fine. So, looking over the stone, it has the look of Egyptian stones, meaning you're not looking at it going, oh, it's meteorite, or something bizarre, or some kind of like volcanic rock.
Right.
It's definitely a stone that would be here.
Okay.
It is definitely hand worn
Okay. So
or rubbed. The whole of the stone has been done either with some kind of sandpaper, other stone, or just hands working it.
right, sand.
It
type of
fits very comfortably in your hand. This would be something you wouldn't be uncomfortable holding for an extended period of time.
Okay.
Couldn't be hidden unless you had a very large hand.
Okay, so it's definitely worked stone. It's not
Yes.
anything unusual there.
Yes.
All right, that's. And then, the stone's just like common limestone, like found all over.
Probably not
Egypt.
limestone, but whatever the common stone is there.
Or sandstone. I think it
Sandstone is my guess, but the common stone that's there.
All right.
While Ayden's looking, is there anyone else doing anything on the way over? I'm assuming we're not going in silence, but I'm just saying anything specifically we need to bring to table before we get there.
I'm just chatting to Billings.
Okay.
The only thing
Frankie's
Wolf's
still
really,
out.
Frankie is still currently out.
The only thing Wolf's really doing, aside from making sure that Raya's leg is all right, is that he's making sure Frankie's like watching to see the signs that Frankie's going to revert, so that they can stop, because they're going to have to readjust those straps and get him like
Go ahead
getting
and
there.
give me a
Well, that's
Wit
tell us
perception
because
roll.
Frankie will wrap around the camel.
That is a 12, unfortunately.
very good. Ayden, was there anything else that you wanted to?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take some of my water.
Okay.
And I'm going to pour it over the stone, and I want to see effectively if there's any sort of like invisible writing or anything. Like if by pouring water on it, I can tell something that.
Ooh, or
maybe-
if it's porous.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So as you pour water over it, you figure that it is porous. That is one thing that you don't get from just simply holding it. The water disappears into it and then comes to the other side where it pools in your hand where you're holding it.
Okay. But nothing like any symbols.
No
or
symbols
writing
come up. It
on
doesn't change. Doesn't color change. Doesn't get warmer, colder, anything like that.
It's moisture.
It's moisture.
More moist, number one.
No, moisture.
So, yeah, so, like, after all that, and since Cal's there, I'm going to be like, I'm wondering if maybe it's not the stone itself that, you know, the stone is just a method of which to hold the items, and that it's whatever these things that were in the hole that are actually doing something.
Well, that would be something to look for. I have no idea what it would be. If anyone would, you would, right?
Well,
What was common?
Well, see, that's the unusual thing, is that the pharaoh in the picture is holding the two stones.
That's unusual?
No, there's no identification or markings that indicate what it is. Usually, like, for example, if you see a cartouche of a chariot, there's like the word chariot's kind of marked into it. Because their language started out with symbols and then slowly evolved into actual letters and stuff based on simple shapes.
Do we have other etchings in this folder?
There's also the strange device next to him. So I wonder if maybe, because of the way his hands are in the stones, like, the stones are sort of a buffer because whatever the items are in them are harmful or unable to be held by a human hand.
What would that be?
At this moment, I am not sure.
Hey Barry, just to see if this would help us, in my inventory I do have journal from Grayling info about hieroglyphs. Does that...
That's basically for potentially reading hieroglyphs.
Okay, so it's not anything. Okay. Well,
Nope.
Grayling?
Nope. Good thought.
And does the small hole, does that go through it or just into it?
Into it.
Okay.
It recesses in maybe a half inch.
Half inch, and then like the thing itself is probably like 2 inches in circumference, or...
Did you check for a button?
That's a good idea. Thinking about it, I'm gonna hold the stone up to the sun
Okay.
and see basically if I can look into it or if there's anything in there.
So, how long do you hold it up for?
Probably about, say, like 5 minutes.
That long. Okay. Go ahead and give me a coordination roll.
And you're blinded.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd put the disclaimer on. I wouldn't hold it up there until I was blind, but I definitely...
You have summoned forth the ancient Egyptian laser beams.
I thought you were
Wouldn't
saying
that be
LASIK.
amazing? It just shoots through my eyes.
Like, ah! We have the greatest weapon known. Well, no, it'd be useless in London.
Right.
Wait, no, we have the Zeppelins. You take the
Thwarted by the
Zeppelin up.
fog. I have a 19 right now, and then it was a what coordination? So that would be 23.
Okay. So holding it that long is difficult. You know, you're riding, you're kind of getting tired. But you're holding it up to look through it, or are you just holding it in the direct sun?
Well, I'm holding it up to look through it and to see if there's some reaction.
Okay.
Basically,
So-
my idea is since the pharaoh and the etching, or whatever, is holding them up, and they both kind of have circles, and they're right in front of his face, like maybe he's looking through them or something.
Right. Okay. As you hold them up, it actually doesn't take 5 minutes. You hold it up, you move it a little bit, and you'll notice that there are some pinpricks of light, that because it's the sun that will be blinding, some tiny pinpricks of light that will crisscross through that hole.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna say, guys, I need to do something real quick. I'm gonna stop my camel and
You ask the entire group to
Yeah.
stop? All right. So
hop off. Everyone, take a 5 minute, smoke them if you got them.
Yep.
And I'm gonna hold it there for a while and see if like a pattern starts to emerge, or if there's some sort of...
The light shines through when you move it in a certain way. So if there's one at 2 o'clock that shines to, say, 7 o'clock, as soon as you move the stone a little bit, that one goes out and another one comes.
What time of day is it?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm assuming it's early afternoon.
Okay.
You are in the heat.
The position of the sun, does that look like it actually
You're talking about in the etching?
In the
Or
etching.
the rubbing?
rubbing? Does that actually...
Never has in the past.
Okay, so it's not like a specific time of day.
Doesn't appear unless there's more. And that's the big question. A rubbing is just that. It may not have picked up some tiny nuances. Maybe. I mean, you've seen ones where the rubbings aren't good. This one's has a lot of detail, so you're not immediately thinking, well, did they miss something?
Right.
Just as something
Well,
could be.
what I've kind of been thinking is, why didn't they bring the damn tablet with them? But I'm going to do two more things. One, I want to see if I can bring it up to my eye and see if I see anything or it does anything.
So here is my question to you. Do you expect to see something? Or are you just running through the whole gamut of
I'm
testing
trying to
it?
be a good, scientist and just...
So testing. Go ahead
Yeah.
and give me an intelligence.
I'm hoping I just don't shoot my eye out, basically.
I wish you had some intelligent people around.
Well, you're all around.
Well, I'm talking to Billings, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to pay attention to him looking at a rock.
Right.
Unless.
I wish
Well,
had
you
some
know it's
intelligent
that-
people
oh, wait a
looking
minute.
in a horse's head.
Wait a minute.
shit.
Nobody else knows that the rock is there. So yeah, you guys are going to all see Ayden looking at a rock.
I just assume he picked it up at the ruins and is staring at it, and I'm like, I don't know why
Right.
you.
Well, so for all of you guys, he is expending a lot of time on this thing, and he
He's
stopped the
communing.
group to do this. Like, hey, I need to get a break, and immediately is messing with this rock.
Yeah.
Typical British arrogance.
Do I see him staring at the sun
Yep,
with it?
you do.
Ayden, you will go blind if you do that too much. Everyone stop giggling, not that.
I just bite my tongue.
So go ahead and give me a wits perception roll, Dr. Wright.
21 on my roll, by the way.
All right, and Dr. Wolf, go ahead and do the same. You're going to be at -2.
What am I rolling? Sorry.
You're going to give me a wits perception.
Yeah, because I'm focused on
So
Frankie, really.
no, it just you can do that. Oh, yep, it's too bright. You can tell that it's a direct light. Does not appear to be a recast light either from an internal mirror or something like that. It looks like a direct light.
Well, yeah, I wasn't thinking it would be a mirror.
I'm just saying to you, yeah.
16.
16,
9.
9. Forget it, Dr. Wolf.
Yeah,
Dr.
I'm
Wright,
focused on Frankie.
as you watch him, I don't know that you'd be staring at him, but so it takes you a little while. But as you watch him, you realize the stone that Ayden has in his hand looks like the one in the etching.
The Billings, go ahead and ride here for just a moment.
Everyone's
Oh.
off the camels.
Oh,
Each of us stopped.
that's right.
That's why you're seeing this.
I'm just gonna go walk over to him and say, Ayden, is that? And I'll reach into my valise and pull out the little journal that I have, which has an etching
Right.
into it. So I look at it and I say, is that the stone in this?
It's one of them, yes.
we think so, Dr. Wright. We're not certain. But it does look like it, doesn't it?
What? Is that what you were doing? You were staring through it? What, did you see anything?
No, I'm examining it, trying to...
Frankie is changing back, Doctor.
Okay, yes. Good. And I'm going to be there to help, ease him because his mass is going, the ropes are there, making sure the camel doesn't fucking step on him.
It's going to make it a lot easier to
Yeah.
control him, too.
And he's going to be freaking out for a few more hours.
Do I know what this is?
It's exactly what you think it is looking at it.
Cool.
So, one other idea I have. When the light goes through it and it lights up little parts, do I recognize any... So one thing would be, do I recognize any constellations?
Go ahead and give me a
This
natural science roll.
celestial.
Go ahead and add 3 to it.
Okay.
You beat me to it, Matt.
I'm definitely spending
Actually,
a
I
reroll
beat
for
you
that.
both to it.
actually, I told Michael as a
Jeez.
joke a long time ago.
You beat everyone
All right,
to it.
Actually, I've been completely unaware of this. I'm not even in this race.
I'm going to up my desire.
Really?
Ooh.
I mean,
More
it's
desire
obsession.
level what?
It's now 2.
That's a big moment.
This is the moment.
The black veins start coming.
So 7. What natural history?
Yep. And you're going to add 3 to the total.
So I have a 19 total
All right.
with all bonuses.
So it takes you a while to kind of run through your head. I don't know that you would necessarily have the book with you that you could match it to. Yes, you are reasonably certain that it is one of the constellations.
Hot damn.
As you move it around and then move it back and move it around, it kind of clicks in your head. "Oh, wait a minute.
All right, since I know the Bedouin navigate the desert via stars,
Yes, they do.
I'm going to look at whoever's closer, Besra or Abrax.
Well, which one? Keep in mind that they are in different parts of the desert.
Okay. Who were the ones that were in the
Bess
like,
and Ra
temple?
are the ones that are closest to Giza.
Okay, and then
Zosser and Abrax are
Right.
actually farther away. They are the ones that are closer to Amarna.
so I'll go to Abrax
Okay.
and say, do you recognize this constellation?
Now, are you showing him a rock?
Well, I'm gonna like have him come over and show him the light on it.
I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
Imagine each one of these points is a constellation.
So then he kind of will look at you as you do it and draw in the dirt.
Right.
And so he looks, he says, yes, absolutely.
And what constellation is that?
Okay, so sadly, Barry did not think you were going to get there. Barry doesn't have the constellation. I will have it next game.
Okay.
But yes,
It's
yeah, exactly.
so
It's plot relevant.
it's so with that in mind, I actually, you know what? I think there's a big deal about Orion and stuff being Osiris or something.
Just so you know, I had originally thought it was going to be Orion's belt, but I got to make sure that it's visible. So
Okay.
that, just so you know, for everyone at the table, that was the one I was thinking of, but I want to make sure it's actually visible down there and strongly visible.
All right. So I would like to bust out my kind of math and do some calculus here, and I'm curious, based on navigation, what Egyptian sites I know of possibly correspond to that constellation.
You wouldn't have that. That's not going to be regular knowledge for you. What you could do is exactly what I need to go check, which is you could identify which ones would be the most commonly seen.
Well, I know like there's a lot of theories that, for example, the
Those-
pyramids,
Right,
the Great
those are
Pyramids,
modern theories.
right? But
Yes.
like kind of going off something like that, do
Yeah.
I know like any temples? Like, did that constellation represent any gods?
No.
And whether okay,
No, as when I'm saying it's modern theory, I'm talking about post 1905.
yeah. So
So have you just been standing there staring at this in silence
So,
for a while? Because
yeah.
if so, I'm going to say something.
my
Yeah,
ears?
yeah,
are smoky.
and everyone's
Okay,
talking.
so-
He's brought Abrax over. They've been talking.
Ayden, what have you
Abrax is hollering
found?
over to
Let us into
Saucer.
the fold.
So I believe that the sun through the stone here represents a constellation, and I'll hand the stone to you.
I'm going to start look as you're talking. I'm going to hold it up and look.
And if I'm correct, that constellation may indicate either where the middle part of the stone is, or where the location of the second stone is.
Hey Barry,
Mm-hmm.
I take the stone as he's talking, and I aim it at the sun, and I put my hand behind it. Does anything shine through? Like,
Which way are you? It wouldn't actually matter. Yes, yeah, you'll get very, very tiny pinpricks, and depending on how you move it, you'll get different ones.
oh, excellent. Do we have a map of the Cairo area at all? Even an old one? Like, of Egypt, I should say?
I'm gonna
I
look
mean,
at
well,
Ayden.
so-
Do you envision you have some kind of a
Yeah.
map?
I should say that Grayling would probably have given me a map, too.
He wouldn't have one.
No?
I
Okay,
don't-
then I'll ask.
That was
I
why
do
he
have
got
a
Ayden.
map.
Wonderful. Could you please bring it out?
Yep, I'll pull it out.
Yeah. Excellent. And then I'll look and I'll say, Ray, could you please come help us? Could you get one of the blankets? I need two of you to cover where we're standing.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I create a little elaborate thing where they're hiding the sun for a moment, and I want to light a lantern,
Okay.
stick the rock to it, and I take the map and I move it around and see if it lines up anywhere.
On a man-drawn map, no.
Okay, well then what I do is I go from where we are and I move it around a little bit and see if we know where. Basically, I'm just looking for a pattern.
You don't see anything at this time.
Well, damn it. All right, you can throw away the contraption.
But that was a good idea.
Yep.
Well, clearly this is going to lead to something. Perhaps we need the other stone in the
So,
depiction.
do I know of a map, like a temple with a map in it created during the time of
A map of what?
Egypt, the empire, during the pharaoh's time.
Yes, the National History Museum has such a map recreated. You have never seen one in any of your driving, but yes, there is one, or a recreation of said one.
So I know that supposedly in the Great Pyramid, there's a grand gallery that has stars.
Yep.
And I know there's tubes that at certain points light will go through.
Correct.
Do I think this would work there?
There specifically, no, but you think it's the same idea. It's potentially what gave you the idea to even try that.
Okay, so same idea in that if I were to take that, I could use it to navigate, or...
Well, what's bothering you is it seems very plausible that what Dr. Wright had suggested might be something, although here would be the thing. What you're looking at is you're thinking of it, I'm assuming, this way. If we figure out where this thing goes, that's where the other pieces are. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking it's either the other stone or the piece that goes in the stone.
Okay. So that is very reasonable. You don't think it would work inside of a temple. You think you would have to have the right map to put it on. And the maps that you guys have are not the right maps.
Okay, so do I know of any maps from the time of the pharaoh whose
National
name
History
escapes me?
Museum has one.
All right, we need to head back to Cairo.
Wait.
There's a map that was created at the time of the pharaoh.
Billing says, we don't have time to
We
do
don't
that.
have time, and
We're almost to the Valley of Kings, aren't we?
Well,
Ask your man. Ask your man. Where are we close?
Billings, zip it. I will put it towards you as the representative of your of Lord Greyling's interests. I believe by using that map, we can pinpoint where this stone is pointing to. If you guys just want to go look at the other stuff and leave, that's fine with me. But it could be what your patron is looking for. Could reveal the location.
Ayden, how good is your memory? Can you remember anything that you've seen on that?
I have a very good memory, but not even I can remember the exact details of a map.
So here's the main question. Billings, there you are.
Yes?
If we were to go back to Cairo, the Zeppelin will be back probably roughly when we get there or shortly thereafter. Is there a chance that it can stay here? Wait a minute. How are we going to go... Ayden, I am wanted in Cairo. We are all probably wanted in Cairo for that statue that's going around. We were relatively prominent
Really?
there.
Because I thought that was Novus Day was up to something when we arrived, when we saw lights in the museum.
Let me speak further then. I'm wanted in Cairo, and I don't think hanging around there any more longer than we need to is a good idea. So I say, as much as I want to get back, let's hit the Valley of the... Where are we going? Wherever we're going, we're hitting there, and we're going to go back, and then we can go and look at the map from there.
So Billings, which you guys haven't been watching, comes in and says, Novus Day, the new army of God.
Yes, Billings.
They're here. They're in this one, and he's holding up one of the Penny Dreadfuls.
I said, give me that, Billings.
He hands it to you. He says, you think they're here?
Oh,
They're killers.
I'm gonna flip through it to see if there's a map. I don't know.
No,
I don't think there will be.
no.
I just was hopeful. And is there anything useful that jumps out?
No,
at me?
it's just story.
all right. Thinking here now,
Just
I'm
you
sort
wait.
of shifting down into my weird mystical stuff and the fact that Billings seems to have a whole bunch of crazy things. Billings, do you have a Penny Dreadful with like a map in it of Egypt that somebody found, or some story involving a map of Egypt?
Give me a few moments. Let me look. And he starts going through them.
Please pay off, you Son of a bastard. I will never say a bad... This is my train of thought. I will never say another bad thing about you.
Vindication.
So
This is the
Cal
moment that
says,
Billy comes in clutch.
Isn't this something that he could do as we ride? Shouldn't we get to the Valley of Kings?
Okay.
Isn't there something that...
Well, we'll go to the Valley of Kings. You just check your penny dreadfuls. We
oh,
will head there.
of course, of course.
Here you go, Billy.
Oh, yes. And you'll see that he sets it into a set position in the pile. He doesn't just lay it on top or on the bottom.
I know this
He
isn't
count-
going to be
count- count-
comfortable for you, Frankie. It's Wolf's tying him down on top of the camel. So it's slightly more like, tying him into place is really what it is. It's like, when you wake up, you're at least going to feel a lot better than if you were underneath it.
All right. So you guys head now towards the Valley of Kings. Now, do you remember why you were going to the Valley of Kings?
Yeah. So we're going to find the Tomb of I.
Okay. Ayden, go ahead and give me a history roll.
To the Tomb of I.
18.
With an 18, you are fairly confident that there is no Tomb of I in the Valley of Kings. You might want to ask him why he thinks it's there.
Why do you think there's a Tomb of I there?
Because I have it written in this book from Grayling.
Do you mind if I look at that?
Sure, here you go. And I'll flip to the correct pages and say, here, and it says right here, Tomb of I.
So, I was the man who took over, the vizier who took over after Tutankhamun passed. Okay? He was then taken over by a general. The regime that followed was not the regime. The king, the pharaoh that followed was Horemheb, who was a general. I had married Tut's sister, if I remember correctly. So it's possible that he could have a tomb in the Valley of Kings because they had moved back to Luxor or Thebes. So it's possible he has one here, but nobody's ever found it. And for you, it's digging deep to even know that name.
Okay. Is there anything in Grayling's notes why he...
What notes he gave him is find the Tomb of I. That potentially will have more information on the device. That's as much as he had.
Okay. Do I know where...
What was that?
Did I write that down wrong?
No, you wrote it down
Oh,
right.
cool.
Do I know where Tutankhamun's... has Tutankhamun's sister's tomb been discovered?
Nope. That would be the queen.
Okay.
Tutankhamun's, his burial has not been found either.
Okay.
Because that was found in the 40s, if you're wondering.
1940s?
Uh-huh.
Dang it.
This, finding the tomb is, for you, a needle in a haystack. That's not to say you can't do it, but it is at present a needle in a haystack. You have a large collection of burials. A number of them covered over that you would have to dig down to find. The few that have gone out here, the few treasure seekers that have gone out here that have tested the desert to get out here, have done the standard tricks, pouring water and seeing where water quickly disappears, digging down and finding stone, in some cases 10 or 20 feet deep to find the stone, and then using it again to find that it's not just stone, but actual steps or an opening, that type of thing.
And I also think Tutankhamun was a total
Fluke.
Because they only thought the Valley of the King was a certain distance, and he was actually outside that.
Correct.
Somebody just randomly said, I feel like digging here. So, I think going to the valley at this time would not be the best use of our time.
However, I'm going to tell you that you know that you are not far from it. As you guys are riding.
I know we're not far from there, but it's going to take a lot of digging and probing to find a tomb. And none of her immediate family members' tombs have been found either. At least with that we could speculate, because usually the tomb families were built together kind of thing. But even that's not a guarantee.
Ayden, you've only been with this group for a short amount of time, but I should let you know And I'll look around at the entire group. Well, we've been through a lot, and to be honest, the answers and things seem to almost just kind of fall into our lap. So honestly, I don't see a problem in just shooting over this area since we're already there. We have enough time to go there, look around a little bit. We find something, we find. If we don't, we don't. We go back, and it all equals out.
That's another idea. Billings, while you're going through there and looking for a map,
Yes.
can you look for a Penny Dreadful where somebody finds a lost tomb or something?
Oh, well, those are easy. Give me just a moment.
All right.
And he's fiddling through. He hands it to you, and he looks off to the side. He's as he's handing it, he kind of is. The camel and him are going the wrong way. He says, "What do you think that smoke is?" And we'll end there.
Oh, boy. Billings!
Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-Sides, and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.